The day I lost everything started like any other Tuesday at Wallace & Clark. Coffee scalding my tongue, heels clicking against marble floors, and the familiar weight of case files tucked under my arm. I never imagined that by sunset, my entire life would implode. My name is Sylvia, and 4 years ago, I was a rising star at one of Boston's most prestigious law firms. The kind of associate who arrived first and left last, who knew the cleaning staff by name and kept spare phone chargers for forgetful partners. The kind of lawyer everyone said was going places. They were right about that last part. I did go places, just not the ones anyone expected. "Sylvia, do you have a minute?" Linda's voice carried that signature honey-warm tone she used when she wanted something. My mentor, my boss, the woman I'd idolized since my first day. Of course. I followed her into her corner office, taking my usual seat across from her imposing desk. "The Richardson merger files," she said, tapping perfectly manicured nails against her laptop. "Something's not adding up in the financial disclosures. I need fresh eyes." I spent the next 3 hours combing through spreadsheets, cross-referencing numbers that refused to align. That's when I found it. Not in the Richardson files, but in a mislabeled folder that had been accidentally included. Systematic transfers, carefully disguised as operational costs, all leading to offshore accounts. "Linda," I knocked on her door again at 7 p.m. "I think there's something you should see." She glanced up, reading my expression. "Close the door." I laid out the evidence, watching her face for reaction. "These transactions, they're not legitimate, are they?" "Oh, Sylvia." She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Always so thorough. Always so naive. The next morning, security was waiting at my desk. 2 stern-faced men in suits, HR hovering nervously behind them. My computer had been seized, my credentials revoked. And somehow, impossibly, every suspicious transaction I'd discovered had my digital fingerprints all over them. "This is insane," I protested as they escorted me out. "Linda's the one—" "Linda Pearson reported the discrepancies yesterday evening," HR explained stiffly. "The evidence is quite clear, Sylvia. We've already contacted the authorities." It happened so fast. Headlines screamed, "Rising attorney caught in embezzlement scandal." My phone exploded with messages. Colleagues, friends, family. Everyone wanted answers I couldn't give. "How could you?" My brother Angelo's voice cracked over the phone. "The firm was your life. Why would you throw it all away?" "Angelo, please," I begged. "You know me. You know I wouldn't." "Linda showed me the proof, sis. Your signatures. Your accounts. Everything. She framed me. She's the one who—" "Stop." His voice turned cold. "Just stop. Mom's devastated. Don't call again until you're ready to tell the truth." One by one, they all fell away. My mother stopped taking my calls. Friends blocked my numbers. Former colleagues crossed the street when they saw me coming. Linda had orchestrated my professional execution with surgical precision, and I couldn't prove a thing. I lost my license, my reputation, my family. Everything I'd spent a decade building vanished in a week. 4 years passed. I rebuilt my life from scratch, taking consulting jobs under the radar, learning to live with the whispers that followed me. The anger never faded. It just went quiet, burrowing deep where I could function around it. Then yesterday, a cream-colored envelope arrived in my mail. Heavy cardstock, gold embossing, the works. My hands shook as I read the invitation inside. "You are cordially invited to celebrate the marriage of Linda Pearson and Angelo Allen." I read it 4 times before the words made sense. My brother, my former mentor, the woman who destroyed my life was marrying my baby brother. I poured myself 3 fingers of whiskey and pulled out my laptop. Linda thought she'd buried me 4 years ago, But some things don't stay buried. And I was done playing dead. You're not seriously considering going? Isaac leaned against my kitchen counter, concern etched across his face. My boyfriend of 2 years had that look he gets when he thinks I'm about to do something monumentally stupid. I have to. I slid the invitation across the counter to him. Look at this. She's not just marrying my brother, she's having the wedding at the Fairmont. The same hotel where she hosted that charity gala 4 years ago. The one right before everything went down. Exactly. I pulled up an old news article on my phone. The Save Our Children Gala. Linda's crowning achievement as a philanthropist. $2 million raised for youth education. Except I bet if we followed that money now. Isaac set down his coffee. Sylvia, honey, I love you. But this sounds like what? Obsession? Paranoia? I laughed bitterly. That's what everyone said last time, right before I was proven right. Too late to matter. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost declined it until I saw the area code. Downtown Boston. Hello? Sylvia? A familiar voice, tentative. It's Jolie, from Wallace & Clark. My hand tightened on the phone. Jolie had been my paralegal, my friend, until she wasn't. What do you want? I need to talk to you. About Linda, about the gala. I put the phone on speaker, catching Isaac's eye. I'm listening. Not over the phone. Can we meet? Please? I should have believed you back then. I'm sorry. 20 minutes later, I was sitting in a corner booth at Murphy's pub, watching Jolie fidget with a napkin. She looked older, tired around the eyes. I've been Linda's executive assistant for the past 3 years, she said quietly. After you left, she promoted me. Said she needed someone she could trust. How nice for you. I've seen things, Sylvia. Documents, conversations. The gala wasn't the first time, and it wasn't the last. I leaned forward. Prove it. Jolie glanced around before pulling out a flash drive. Everything's encrypted, but it's all here. The real numbers from the gala, wire transfers, recordings from board meetings. I've been collecting it, waiting. For what? For a chance to make it right. She pushed the drive across the table. Linda's getting sloppy. She thinks she's untouchable now. But last week I overheard her on the phone about some new scheme involving Angelo's investment firm. My blood ran cold. She's using my brother? Or he's involved? I don't know, but I couldn't stay quiet anymore. Not with... Jolie! A sharp voice cut through the pub. Linda stood at the entrance, her designer suit immaculate as always. Her smile was razor-sharp as she approached our table. I thought I saw you come in here. Linda's eyes fixed on me. Sylvia, what a surprise. Linda, I kept my voice steady. Congratulations on the engagement. Thank you. She turned to Jolie. We have that conference call in 15 minutes, shall we? Jolie stood quickly, avoiding my eyes. But as Linda turned away, Jolie's hand brushed mine under the table, pressing something small and cold into my palm. Coming, Jolie called, hurrying after Linda. I waited until they were gone before looking at the object, a key with a post-it wrapped around it, an address and 3 words, Storage Unit B17. That night I called the one person I knew could help. Cyrus, it's Sylvia. Remember when you said you owed me a favor after that tenant dispute case? I need a private investigator. Off the books. Finally going after Linda? He didn't sound surprised. I have evidence, encrypted, and a storage unit that might have more. Send me what you've got. But Sylvia, be careful. Last time I was alone. I cut him off. This time I'm ready. After hanging up, I stared at the wedding invitation again. 2 months until the ceremony. 2 months to uncover the truth before my brother tied himself to a snake. You okay? Isaac asked softly. I looked up at him, feeling the familiar fire of determination replacing 4 years of helpless rage. No, but I will be. The game was on, and this time I wasn't playing defense. Storage Unit B-17 smelled like dust and forgotten secrets. I clicked on my flashlight, sweeping the beam across stacks of bankers' boxes and filing cabinets. Cyrus stood behind me, his own light illuminating the opposite corner. Your friend Jolie's been busy, he muttered, pulling out a box labeled Gala 2019. These are organized by date, event, and transaction type. Linda always insisted on perfect documentation. I rifled through a folder. She just kept 2 sets of everything. My phone buzzed. Isaac checking in. I texted back quickly. Still alive. Found something. Listen to this, Cyrus called, holding up his phone. He'd been converting old voice memos to digital files. Linda's voice filled the small space. The beauty of charity events is that no one questions where every dollar goes. They're just happy to feel generous. And if some funds get redirected, well, that's just good business. My hands shook as I grabbed another file. Here, the gala expenses. Look at these catering invoices. They're doubled. 1 set for the books, 1 for offshore accounts. Cyrus finished, pointing to his laptop screen. Same pattern as before, but this time she got sloppy, left digital breadcrumbs. A new voice emerged from his phone, male, unfamiliar. What about your old problem? The one who almost exposed everything. Linda's laugh sent chills down my spine. Sylvia? She's nothing. But if she ever surfaces again, I have contingencies. Always keep a backup plan, darling. When was this recorded? I demanded. 2 months ago. Cyrus looked grim. She's been watching you, Sylvia. Preparing. Well, she's not the only one who can plan ahead. I grabbed another box, this one marked Investment Holdings 2023. Let's see what she's doing with my brother's money. 3 hours later, my dining room table was covered in documents. Isaac paced behind me while Cyrus connected dots on his laptop. It's genius, really, Cyrus said. She's using Angelo's investment firm to launder the charity money. He signs documents thinking they're routine client portfolios, but the funds get channeled through shell companies. Show me, I demanded. He turned his screen. See these transfers? They match the missing donations from the gala, but they're disguised as legitimate investments under Angelo's oversight. She's setting him up, I whispered, just like she did to me. If anyone investigates, all roads lead to Angelo. Isaac stopped pacing. You have to tell him. He won't believe me. Not without concrete proof. I rubbed my temples. We need more. Someone else who can verify all this. What about Linda's assistant? Cyrus suggested. Not Jolie, the one from the gala. Claire something? Claire Stanley. I remembered her. Quiet, efficient, always in the background. Linda fired her right after the gala. No one knew why. Found her, Cyrus announced, typing rapidly. Works at a boutique downtown now. Looks like she had a rough few years after Wallace and Clark. I grabbed my coat. Text me the address. Sylvia, wait. Isaac caught my arm. What's your end game here? Revenge? Justice? Protecting Angelo? Because once you start this... All of it, I admitted. Linda took everything from me. Now she's about to do the same to my brother. I can't let that happen. Even if stopping her means destroying your relationship with Angelo forever? I met his worried gaze. She already destroyed it. At least this way, he'll be free. The boutique was quiet when I walked in. Claire stood behind the counter, folding sweaters. She looked up, recognition flickering across her face. I was wondering when you'd show up, she said softly. Then you know why I'm here. She glanced around the empty store before pulling out a small notebook from her purse. I kept this. Linda thought she made me burn everything, but, well, let's just say I learned from her about keeping insurance policies. I opened the notebook. Pages of dates, amounts, account numbers, all in Claire's neat handwriting. And tucked in the back, a small voice recorder. The day she fired me, Claire explained. She was bragging to someone about how she ruined that girl who got too close. Said it was her finest performance. My hands trembled as I held the evidence. Why didn't you come forward? Would anyone have believed me? Claire's smile was bitter. They didn't believe you. I slipped the notebook into my bag. They will now. The bridal boutique's bell chimed as I pushed open the door. My mother and Linda stood by a rack of wedding dresses, while Angelo sat in a plush chair, scrolling through his phone. 4 years of absence crashed into me like a wave. "Sylvia!" My mother's voice cracked. She looked older, greyer. "What are you doing here?" "I got the invitation." I forced a smile. Thought I should at least congratulate the happy couple in person. Linda's embrace was picture perfect, her expensive perfume suffocating. "How wonderful you could make it. Angelo, darling, look who's here." My brother stood slowly, uncertainty written across his face. The last time we'd spoken, he'd called me a disgrace to the family. Now, he just looked tired. "Hey, sis." "Hi, Gilo." The childhood nickname felt strange on my tongue. Linda clapped her hands. "Perfect timing. We were just discussing the rehearsal dinner seating chart. You'll come, of course. Wouldn't miss it." I watched her face carefully. "I hear it's at the Fairmont. Bringing back memories?" Something flickered behind her eyes. "Oh, you remember the charity gala? Such a success. We raised so much money for those poor children." "Did we ever find out exactly how much?" "Linda," Angelo interrupted, "we should head to that meeting with the caterer." "Of course, darling." She kissed his cheek, then turned to me. "We simply must catch up properly. Coffee this week? Looking forward to it." After they left, my mother rounded on me. "What are you really doing here, Sylvia?" "He's my brother, Mom. I have a right to be at his wedding." "You lost that right when you stole from the firm, when you broke our hearts." "Is that what you still believe? After all this time?" Linda showed us the proof. I pulled out my phone, playing the recording Claire had given me. Linda's voice filled the space between us. "Ruined that girl who got too close." My mother's face paled. "What is this?" "The truth. Linda's been stealing for years, and now she's using Angelo to cover her tracks. Turn it off." Her hands shook. "I don't want to hear this." "Mom, please. Look at these documents. These transactions. She's going to destroy him just like she destroyed me." "Enough." She grabbed her purse. "I won't let you ruin this wedding with your obsession. Leave Angelo alone. Leave all of us alone." I watched her hurry out, clutching her pearls like armor. That evening, I sat in my car outside Angelo's apartment, debating whether to try one more time. My phone lit up with a text from Cyrus. "Found something big. Come now." His office was a mess of papers and coffee cups. "Look at this," he said, pointing to his screen. "Latest transfer from the charity foundation. $2 million, moved through 3 shell companies, then parked in an account under the name April Ventures." "So? April Ventures was registered last month, the sole director." He pulled up a document. "Angelo Allen." My stomach dropped. She's not just using him. She's setting him up to take the fall. There's more. Cyrus played another audio file. Linda's voice again, speaking to someone. "Once we're married, his signature on those documents becomes retroactive consent. If anyone investigates, it all points to him. Perfect insurance policy, don't you think?" I grabbed my keys. I need to see him. Now. Sylvia, wait. But I was already running. 10 minutes later, I pounded on Angelo's door. He opened it, surprise turning to wariness. What are you doing here? You need to see this. I thrust the documents at him. Linda's using you. Those investment papers you've been signing. They're not what you think. Stop. He held up his hand. Just stop. I'm not doing this again. Gilo, please. Look at the evidence. She's setting you up just like she set me up. Get out. His voice was ice. I'm marrying Linda in 2 weeks. Either accept that and behave, or don't come at all. The door slammed in my face. I stood there, documents clutched to my chest, feeling the weight of history repeating itself. My phone buzzed. Isaac, you okay? I texted back. No, but I know what I have to do now. The rehearsal dinner was in 3 days. It was time to show everyone exactly who Linda really was. You can't seriously be planning to expose everything at the rehearsal dinner, Isaac said, watching me pack my laptop and files into a sleek briefcase. It's like something out of a soap opera. Got a better idea? I checked the USB drive again. Linda's transferring money through Angelo's company as we speak. By the time the wedding happens, it'll be too late. My phone lit up with a text from Jolie. Linda's in full meltdown mode. She knows something's wrong. Be careful. The doorbell rang. Isaac opened it to find my mother standing there, looking smaller than I remembered. Can we talk? She asked quietly. I gestured to the couch. She sat stiffly, clutching her handbag like a shield. I listened to the rest of the recording, she said. And I called Claire. My heart skipped. What did she tell you? Everything. Her voice cracked. About the gala, the threats, how Linda made her destroy evidence. I've been such a fool, Sylvia. Mom, no, let me finish. She pulled out a tissue. I chose to believe the worst about my own daughter. I let that woman poison our family because it was easier than facing the truth. It's not too late, I said softly. Help me stop her before she ruins Angelo too. She shook her head. Angelo won't listen to me. He's in love, or thinks he is. Linda's got him completely convinced that you're trying to sabotage his happiness out of jealousy. Then, I'll make him see the truth. At the rehearsal dinner, I'm going to... She's expecting that. My mother's words stopped me cold. I overheard her on the phone yesterday. She knows you're gathering evidence. She's prepared for you to make a scene. Isaac sat forward. What exactly did she say? Something about having her own insurance policy ready. That if Sylvia tries anything, she has proof that Angelo was involved in everything from the beginning. She's bluffing, I said, but uncertainty crept in. Maybe. My mother stood. But are you willing to risk your brother's freedom to find out? After she left, I paced the apartment, mind racing. Isaac watched me with concern. What if she's right? He asked. What if exposing Linda means destroying Angelo too? My phone buzzed. Cyrus. Emergency. New information. Come now. 20 minutes later, I stared at his computer screen in horror. This can't be real. It is. Cyrus pointed to the document trail. Linda didn't just forge Angelo's signature on those documents, she had him sign them himself, buried in routine paperwork. He's legally complicit, even if he didn't know what he was signing. And if I expose her, she'll take him down with her. Prison time, guaranteed. I sank into a chair, the weight of impossible choices crushing me. So either I let her win, let her marry my brother and keep stealing, or I destroy what's left of my family forever. There might be another way. Cyrus pulled up more files. Look at these timestamps. The major transfers started right after Angelo joined the firm. If we can prove he had no knowledge before that. It won't matter, I cut him off. The signatures are real. The paper trail is real. Linda made sure of that. My phone lit up again. Angelo, can we meet? Please, just us. I showed the message to Isaac. He squeezed my shoulder. Go, listen to what he has to say. An hour later, I sat across from my brother at our old favorite diner. He looked exhausted. I found something in Linda's office, he said without preamble. Account numbers, offshore transfers. At first, I thought it was just complex client stuff, but… Hope flared in my chest. But the dates match what you were trying to show me about the charity funds. He ran a hand through his hair. Tell me the truth, sis. All of it. I'm ready to listen. I reached for my briefcase, then stopped. If I show you everything, there's no going back. Your signature is on some of these documents. Linda made sure of that. I know. His voice was quiet. But I need to know what I'm really marrying into, whatever the cost. I pulled out the files, watching my brother's face as 4 years of lies began to unravel. The Fairmont's private dining room buzzed with pre-wedding excitement. Crystal glasses clinked, cameras flashed, and Linda held court at the head table, resplendent in emerald silk. Angelo sat beside her, his face a mask I recognized from our childhood, the one he wore when trying not to show pain. Lovely to see you, Sylvia, Linda called out as I entered. Green suits you. I smoothed my dark dress, feeling the weight of the USB drive in my clutch. Thank you. You taught me well about power colors. My mother caught my eye from across the room, giving a slight nod. We'd talked for hours after my meeting with Angelo. The plan was set. Speech time, Linda's maid of honor announced, tapping her glass. Linda has prepared something special. Linda rose gracefully, champagne in hand. When I first met Angelo, I was at a crossroads in my life. Some of you know about the unfortunate incident at my firm 4 years ago. How betrayal can come from those we trust most. My hand tightened on my glass. Beside me, Isaac tensed. But that betrayal led me to true love. Linda smiled down at Angelo. Everything happens for a reason, doesn't it, darling? Angelo's smile didn't reach his eyes. It certainly does. To new beginnings, Linda raised her glass. To trust, loyalty, and family. Actually, I stood up, my heart thundering. I'd like to say something too. The room quieted. Linda's smile flickered. 4 years ago, Linda taught me about loyalty. I pulled out my laptop. She taught me about trust. But most importantly, she taught me about keeping receipts. Sylvia, Linda's voice carried a warning. This isn't the time. It's exactly the time. I connected my laptop to the projector. You see, Linda's been teaching all of us lessons about how to manipulate people, how to steal millions, how to destroy lives. The first document appeared on screen. Bank transfers from the charity gala. That's confidential information, Linda snapped, but I could see the fear in her eyes. Like these recordings are confidential? I pressed play. Linda's voice filled the room. The beauty of charity events is that no one questions where every dollar goes. Or these. Another click. Photos of doctored invoices appeared. $2 million. Vanished from children's education programs into offshore accounts. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Phones came out, recording. This is ridiculous, Linda stood, but her hands shook. Angelo, tell them. Tell them what, Linda? Angelo's voice was steady as he rose. About how you had me sign transfer documents hidden in routine paperwork. About how you planned to frame me if anyone caught on. The color drained from Linda's face. You don't understand. Or should we play the recording where you brag about destroying my sister's career? Angelo pulled out his own phone. The one where you laugh about making her disappear? I kept everything, I continued, changing slides. Every transaction, every fake invoice, every recording, just like you taught me. Linda lunged for her purse, but Jolie was faster. Looking for this? She held up a small black ledger. Your insurance policy against Angelo. I took it from your office this morning. You little... Linda grabbed for it, but stumbled, knocking over glasses. It's over, Linda, I said quietly. The FBI has everything. They're probably in the lobby right now. As if on cue, Suits appeared in the doorway. Linda's eyes darted around the room like a trapped animal. This was supposed to be my night, she hissed. My perfect ending. It still is, I replied. Just not the ending you planned. She made a break for the side door, but didn't make it 3 steps before the agents intercepted her. As they led her away, Angelo reached for my hand. I'm sorry, sis, for not believing you. For everything. Me too, our mother added, tears streaming down her face. I looked around the stunned room, at Jolie's satisfied smile, at Claire filming everything from the corner, at Isaac's proud nod. The truth always comes out, I said, watching Linda's emerald silk disappear through the doors. It just takes time. My phone buzzed one last time. Cyrus. Done. All evidence submitted. She's going away for a long time. I deleted the message and raised my still full champagne glass. To new beginnings? Angelo clinked his glass against mine. To family. To justice, our mother added softly. And for the first time in 4 years, I felt the weight of lies finally lift from my shoulders. The aftermath hit like a tsunami. Within hours, video clips from the rehearsal dinner went viral. News vans camped outside the Fairmont, reporters shouting questions as shell-shocked guests fled the scene. Ms. Allen, how long have you been planning this revenge? Did your brother know about the evidence? What do you say to accusations that this was all for publicity? I pushed through them, Isaac shielding me from cameras until we reached my car. Angelo was already inside, slumped in the back seat. Drive, he muttered. Anywhere but here. We ended up at my apartment, Angelo pacing while I poured drinks. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing, messages from old colleagues, journalists, even partners from Wallace and Clark. They're calling it the wedding takedown of the year, Isaac read from his tablet. Social media's exploding. Linda the thief is trending. Great, Angelo laughed hollowly. My humiliation's gone viral. You're not the villain here, I reminded him. You're another victim. Am I? He stopped pacing. I signed those documents, sis. I didn't check them properly. I was so blindly in love that I ignored every red flag. My mother called for the 5th time. I finally answered. The police are at the house, she said without preamble. They're asking about the foundation money, about my involvement on the charity board. Tell them everything, I advised. Every meeting, every signature. Show them you were just another pawn in her game. Like me? Angelo's voice cracked. Is that what I was? A pawn? A sharp knock at the door made us all jump. Cyrus entered, looking grim. Linda's talking, he announced. Making deals. She's trying to implicate Angelo in everything. She can't, I protested. We have proof he didn't know. We have proof he should have known, Cyrus corrected. Any halfway decent prosecutor will ask why a financial professional didn't spot obvious fraud. It doesn't look good. Angelo sank onto my couch, head in his hands. She played me perfectly, right from the start. Not perfectly, Isaac pointed out. She didn't count on Sylvia. My phone lit up with a text from Jolie. Linda's assistant just found more files. You need to see this now. 20 minutes later, we crowded around Cyrus's laptop, watching security footage from Linda's office. There she was, clearly planting documents in Angelo's signature pile, switching files when he wasn't looking. Date stamps show this happening repeatedly, Cyrus explained. Clear evidence of deliberate deception. This could save him, I breathed. Angelo, this proves. But my brother was staring at another video, playing silently on the desk monitor. Linda and him at dinner, her laughing at something he said, looking for all the world, like she was in love. 4 years, he whispered. 4 years of my life. A lie. Not everything was a lie, my mother said from the doorway. We turned. I hadn't heard her come in. The pain she caused was real. The family she broke was real. And now we have to be real about fixing it. She crossed to Angelo, pulling him into a hug like she used to when we were kids. He crumpled into her arms. I'm so sorry, she said, looking at me over his shoulder. Both of you. I should have protected you. Should have seen through her. Mom. No, let me finish. I failed you once, Sylvia. I won't fail either of you again. She straightened up. Now, what do we need to do to keep Angelo out of prison? Cyrus cleared his throat. The footage helps. If he cooperates fully, testifies against Linda, I'll do it, Angelo said firmly. Everything she did, everyone she hurt, it all comes out. My phone buzzed again. A news alert. Linda's mugshot filled the screen. Her perfect makeup gone, her eyes hard. I should feel better, I said quietly. Seeing her like this. But it doesn't fix everything. Isaac finished, squeezing my hand. No, Angelo agreed. But maybe we can start fixing ourselves. Outside, camera flashes still lit up the night. Tomorrow would bring more questions, more revelations, more pain. But for now, in my cramped apartment, something broken began to heal. My mother hugged me next, whispering, I'm proud of you, and for the first time in 4 years, I let myself believe it. The truth had cost us everything, but maybe, just maybe, it would give us something better in return. The prison visiting room smelled like industrial cleaner and stale coffee. I sat across from Linda, studying the woman who'd nearly destroyed my family. Her orange jumpsuit clashed with the remnants of her expensive highlights. Come to gloat? She didn't look up from examining her nails. Actually, I came to return something. I placed a small box on the table. Inside was the silver bracelet she'd given me when I made junior partner. You should have this back. Keep it. Consider it payment for the show you put on at my rehearsal dinner. That wasn't a show, Linda. That was karma. She finally met my eyes. Karma. Is that what you call destroying your brother's career? His reputation? Angelo's doing fine, actually. The DA dropped all charges after his testimony. He's working with the FBI's Financial Crimes Unit now, helping them track down other cases like yours. Her perfectly plucked eyebrows twitched. How noble. The charity foundation's being restructured too. Mum's leading the new board, transparently this time. They're actually helping kids now, imagine that. Why are you really here, Sylvia? I leaned forward. I needed to understand. Was any of it real? The mentoring, the friendship, the love for my brother? Does it matter? It matters to me. Linda's mask cracked just slightly. You were brilliant, you know, too brilliant. You would have figured it out eventually, so I had to move first. Nothing personal, just business. And Angelo? He was... She paused. Convenient. And kind. Maybe in another life. Save it. I stood up. Goodbye, Linda. Wait. Her voice stopped me. Was it worth it? Getting your revenge, but losing your family in the process? I smiled. That's where you're wrong. I didn't lose them. You did. Outside, Isaac waited in the car. You okay? Better than okay? I checked my phone, a text from Angelo. Family dinner tonight? Mum's making lasagna. At home, I found a package waiting. Inside was my old law license, reinstated, with a letter from the Bar Association apologizing for their grievous error in judgment. My phone rang. Jolie. They're offering me a promotion at Wallace & Clark, Senior Compliance Officer. Apparently, they need someone with experience spotting fraud. Take it, I told her. Change things from the inside. That evening, I stood in my mother's kitchen, watching her and Angelo argue about the proper amount of garlic in sauce. The scene was so normal it made my throat tight. Earth to sis, Angelo waved a wooden spoon at me. You're burning the bread. I rescued the garlic bread from the oven. Sorry, just thinking. Dangerous hobby, he teased, then grew serious. Hey, did you really visit her today? I needed closure. And I got it. I started slicing the bread. She's exactly who we thought she was, but we're not who she thought we were. Mom wiped her hands on her apron. No more talk about her. Not tonight. Tonight is for us. The doorbell rang. Isaac, carrying wine and a folder. Sorry I'm late, but look what came through. He handed me the folder. Inside was a job offer from the district attorney's office, special prosecutor for financial crimes. They want someone with first-hand experience, he explained. Someone who can't be fooled. Take it, Angelo said immediately. Show them what you can do. Mom squeezed my shoulder. Whatever you decide, we're here. All of us. I looked around the kitchen, at Isaac's proud smile, Angelo's supportive nod, Mum's tearful eyes. The weight of the past 4 years felt lighter somehow, transformed into something like wisdom. First, I said, we eat. Then we plan. Later, as we lingered over wine and Mum's tiramisu, I realized something. Linda had taught me about power, about revenge, about keeping receipts. But my family, broken and rebuilt, stronger at the mended places, had taught me about justice, about forgiveness, about starting over. I raised my glass. To the truth. To family, Mom added. To karma. Angelo grinned. To all of it, I said softly. The ending we deserved. Outside, the city hummed with possibilities. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new cases, new chances to fight for what's right. But tonight, in this kitchen, with these people, I was exactly where I needed to be. Karma had listened, truth had spoken, and in the end, love had won.